Welcome to Living with the Spectrum. My name is Tim. I'm one of your hosts, and Denisha is actually doing something for one of our children. So we'd like to welcome you to episode 14 with Living with the Spectrum. And tonight is going to be a real earlobe because tonight we're talking about noise. We're talking about noise and how to deal with noise. And we're going to be talking about some of the things that we do, some techniques that we do to deal with some of the issues when you're dealing with a lot of noise. There's, for instance, there's like, for starters, like noise canceling headphones. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight is how do we deal with the noise. And my wife, she's going to come in and try to correct, I guess, our conversation. What? Okay. You want to say hi?
Can I sit down first?
Okay.
Hi, welcome. I know you already said it to Living with the Spectrum, but I'll say it again. Welcome to Living with the Spectrum. I am also one of your hosts, Denisha, and we're doing a little bit more than just talking about the noise or the tantrums or the stimming. We're talking about what it's like in our everyday life when we're going back and forth, just trying to, do simple tasks that could actually cause us, a lot more stress than, the average person would understand. Um, so it's a little bit more than noise. It's more, if you saw our clip or little promo, if you will, you saw a little bit of how Ivea, our 10-year-old, um, reacts to just, doing regular things that we need to do. So right now we're down to we're using just one car right now. The other one is actually on its way to the shop. So being down to one car, we have to do everything
Together. We have to
together.
travel together. We have to,
Well, we travel together anyway, but he means like
like,
taking me to work, taking the kids to school, stuff like that. Normally, we are a two-car household, okay? And so that being said, right now we only have one vehicle, and that
Grace,
poses
Grace. No, no, no.
Grace. She's I'm cooking her something, so having her eat off the. I mean, okay, so let me just point this out. I'm kind of stiff on one side, okay? I'm stiff on one side. I hurt my neck this weekend. I really don't want her eating those because that's gonna mess up her dinner. And so if you see me
So
kind of
excuse me
like
for a second.
moving kind of robotic, it's because I'm hurting on this side. But anyway, can you like flip the camera so that it's coming this way instead of this way? But it's not. But anyway, um, whatever. um, so tell them what. I mean, I just was stretching, and so I guess it's true. The older you get, even the smallest things you do, something pop out of whack for no reason. Literally, was getting up Saturday morning, getting ready to start my weekend, do some stuff for Easter Sunday. Grace is upset because she is hungry, and we're actually trying to get her to. Well, I don't know. I don't see anything. It's black. She knocked something loose down at the bottom. There it is. Hello, hi. Grace is upset. She knocked something loose. But just gonna start my weekend, and I just stretched in something, locked up, and so anyway, yeah. So like I said, we are down to one car, and normally that wouldn't really pose an issue, but Ivea gets irritated very quickly. And as you know, I have to make sure that everything is lining up or makes sense or sounds like babe, I know. I'm just making sure that everything sounds good or it's okay on Facebook. Um so what happens is a lot of times when Evea um we get in the class, we get in the car, excuse me, and we start the day. It starts out, okay, but then within what, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, that's when the tantruming or the stimming or what have you starts. So, and it actually causes a lot of stress and irritation on our other two children. And if you're new to Living with the Spectrum, welcome. And we do have 3 children on the autistic spectrum, one nonverbal, our 10-year old, two, well, our 13-year old is verbal, high functioning, and then our 5-year old, her words are increasing by the day. Um, so we're talking about our 10-year old, which is the person that we are having, more of, the behaviors from right now. So we're talking about what it's like just living everyday life, going, dropping off from school to school, picking up from school, dropping me off to work, or just doing regular tasks. That may seem easy to most, but to us, it could be stressful, or to anybody that has children on the spectrum. Um, I'm going off of no pain medicine right now, so right now my neck is kind of hurting me, but I'm a press pass so that we can get this content out. So again, if you looked at our clip, you saw us, just reiterating that we changed Living with the Spectrum from Sunday nights to 7. And in the midst of that, our daughter was actually having a tantrum or whatever. She has the Skittles again. Did you give them to her? So, um, so it can pose a huge problem with her because she wants what she wants at that moment. And if she doesn't get what she wants, she starts hitting the car, the window, the seat in front of her, which, and then it actually starts an effect. So then my 5-year old, Grace, she starts screaming, and it almost kind of rattles her. I've noticed within the past couple of, I want to say maybe like 2 months, she has actually what's the word I'm looking for? Um, she's actually like, I don't know, it's a simple word, but right now I'm having a brain freeze. She started putting her hands in her mouth, like almost like biting her nails. She started like, when Evea has her moments, she starts screaming over Evea, or she'll close her ears and start counting 1, 2, 3, or saying her ABCs. So she's trying to cope with what is going on, but at the same time, I think she's like almost has like this nervousness. It's, I don't know what the word is I'm trying to look for. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't want to say she's gained a nervous behavior, but I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, Tim. No, that's not it. He said annoyed, but that's not it. Anyway, so what we've decided was we actually, I went out and did some research. Um, and I purchased some noise canceling headphones, right? So this is what I purchased. I got these off of Amazon. Let me, well, similar. They look just like regular headphones. They don't They're not Bluetooth or anything. They're just, regular noise canceling headphones. Um, they're not like the best on the market, but this is what I could get like on a short notice, because what I'm trying not to do is I don't want Grace to gain this nervous behavior on account of something that her sister is doing. And so I decided, like, okay, we tried noise canceling headphones for Grace a couple of years ago, probably like 2 years ago, pre pandemic, and she didn't want anything on her ears. And the reason why I tried noise canceling headphones the first time was because um, I noticed she was, doing this number to her ears, which she was trying to like cancel out the extra noise herself. So we tried the noise canceling headphones a couple of years back. She wanted no parts of them. She didn't want nothing on her head, nothing. So we just let it go. But now that Evea is starting this, I'm trying to share this to my page. Sorry, y'all. Now that Evea has started with her tantrums and hitting and the self-interest behavior, it's increased for Grace. And so again, went out, ordered some noise canceling headphones off Amazon. Now I will say that me and Tim tested them out ourselves, and they are not the best, but they do what they need to do in that present time. Um, what I will suggest is doing more research. For myself, I know exactly which ones I'm going to go get now, because I have been doing more research, and I have noticed that since we've bought these, I was actually going to send them back because they weren't as good as what I wanted them to do, but they're working for now. And so we're going to keep these, and these will probably like stay in the car or be, the go-tos for, oh, we don't know where the other ones are, but we're going to purchase some stronger, I guess they go by some number. I don't know the number, but ones that'll actually help cancel out the noise. These are noise minimizing, and when I went back to look, like, these aren't really doing what I want them to do. When I looked, they minimize the noise, and so what you want?
I'm just trying to even it back up now. I'm going to lean over my way.
I can't, because that's putting more pressure on that side.
Okay.
So I found this website. It's autism something. I don't know. But they specialize in things for autistic children, like headphones and different sensory items. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then that. I'm going to get those. So he done switched it up. I don't think that light, that's too much. So that's what we're gonna do. So, anyways, let's just talk about what it's like just doing stuff that anybody gets to do. Go out to the grocery store, or go picking your children up from school, or just small things. Sometimes you want to go out and take a drive and go get ice cream, or um, go grab a quick burger as a family. That poses a problem for us because we're not able to just up and do it. Now, don't get me wrong, we do it,
But not as much. Not as much.
but not as much. And we do it under the account of, okay,
Because it's like when we get out there and
we
our
already
children,
know.
when they start, stemming or making noises,
It's not
people.
even them, it's just her
But
right now.
but it's like people look at us and stare at us like with the stare of death. Like,
Well, see, he see the people. I really don't care about what people say or think. And I'm constantly saying, if you have something to say, it's better for you to come and ask me a question than just stare me down, because you'll get the exact same stare back at you. I don't care about any of that because nobody understands the struggle that me and Tim deal with unless they are in our shoes.
Yeah.
So when I want to go out and do something with my family, I do it, but we don't do it very often because a lot of times he feels a certain type of way.
I think that everyone feels a certain type of way, and I don't want to go somewhere where I'm planning on having fun, and then all of a sudden I'm worried about what people are thinking or people not accepting my children, and I just want to be at ease when it comes down to those things. So
Sorry. Well, we know the sound works. I don't know.
are the lips lining up with the words?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay, all right. The voices. I'm sorry.
Um, so that's something that Tim has always kind of struggled with. And not to say that I hadn't, because I did in the beginning. I'm the mom, so I did the grocery shopping. I did all of the main things that needed to be done. And so a lot of times, even before Grace, um, I would take me, Nehemiah, and Evea, we would go. And Evea has always been the one with more of the behaviors than Nehemiah. Now, Nehemiah would, when he was younger, he did have a lot more stimming going on. But since he's gotten older,
It's more mature, more
he's
independent now.
yeah, and he is able to kind of gauge, certain things. If it's too loud for him, he'll let us know it's too loud. If he needs a quiet space or spot, if he wants to go and sit in the car with one of us, he'll let us know. But again, for Evea, she doesn't have that yet. Now, we have her communication device. I've showed it to you. I don't know where it is at this point. She should have it. We are working on making sure that she keeps that with her all the time. But if it's too much for her, she automatically goes into the hitting herself. And I'm saying ball fist, hitting, punching, wherever. And so we try to remove her out of the situation and go sit in the car. But that doesn't help because she just goes into the car and does the same thing. And a lot of times we just remove ourselves out of the situation and we come home. Like tonight, they had just picked me up from work. And as he was pulling in the parking lot to pick me up, I could hear her, having a moment, and got in the car, started driving, and she, again, where I'm noticing, because I am in the ABA field now, that some of the time that she's doing this is all for attention. It's attention seeking.
I kind of feel like she has a controlling behavior too, um, controlling attitude. So what I generally do, and this may work for you because it works for me. I know that we have three children. Nehemiah is my oldest. Usually, I would like to bond with him and sit up front with him, but he knows that his sister is a little bit more difficult to deal with. So I have her sit up front with me, and she loves music, so I allow her to be the DJ at the time. And as long as she has her food
She
and
got to control.
as long as she has the music that's playing that she likes, then she's quiet, she's smiling, she's grabbing your face, she's basically in love with the world. But as soon as we don't do what she wants us to do, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Which is why it's a lot of time it's attention.
You get her, if I put her in the back, if she doesn't sit up front, what happens is that she would bam on the window. She'll hit the window real hard and start making noises and start hitting herself in the head. And nobody wants that. So it's like let's do what we need to do to control the situation. So, but we're working on breaking her out of some of these behaviors. We learned that some of these behaviors that she has is based on her not being able to communicate. But at the same time, I think that by us, a lot of times doing mostly everything for her, and I see that sometimes we enable her.
Yeah, we got to break ourselves out of that too because we do. Like a lot of times I'm noticing, and I've been noticed that it ain't brand new. Like a lot of times what we do is
Just about everything
we
for her.
just do it because it's like she ain't gonna do it, so let me go ahead and get it over with. Like there are certain times, like in the morning when it's time to get ready for school, we just automatically, ouch, I moved a little bit too fast. We automatically just like put her clothes on, shirt, and everything like that. I don't care because I'm be crying. That's how much pain I'm in, and I want to be crying. We'll just hurry up and do it, but we're kind of like Tim said, enabling her. And if we get up in enough time, now we do get up in enough time, but because we have three, it takes a lot longer. So probably on the weekends for us would be a better time for us to just kind of
Focus on her more,
and focus on
have
trying
her
to
do
get
more
her.
chores and stuff like that. Because
I don't know if she's gonna get chores done,
but this is the thing. We know that she's able to do a lot of things,
she
and
is.
I learned when we were trying to do intake for her with ABA, and they were asking a lot of questions. And these questions, you think you're doing everything that you can, and then they start asking you questions about does she do this and does she do that, and it's like no, but why you talking about it. This is something I can add. Sometimes when you're not prepared, and a lot of times, all the time, when you're not prepared for the situation that you're in, you don't know what to do. You can read all about it, but there's certain things that are going to be there that you should be doing with that child. But because this child cannot talk or cannot speak, you try to cater to them in every way. And that's how we've been with our middle child, because it seems like she's defenseless because she can't really do too much for herself. But in all actuality, she knows how to program, um, like the dashboard and the computer on the car better than my son, and he's high functioning. So I'm like, this girl is smart. I'm like, you're smarter than what you telling us or what you showing us. So there's some things that she can do. It's just that we have to, um, throw the ball back into her court a lot more.
True, so true. Um,
Also, if you're listening, if you're watching with us, you can look at us through Kingdominium. If you're watching through Kingdominium on YouTube, you can share it. If you're watching on Facebook, you can share it. If you're watching on any other platform, you can like it and you can share it. Let someone
yes,
else know
please like and
about this,
share.
because there's a lot of people that are suffering silently. They have
Mhm.
special needs children, or they have siblings that are special needs, and they don't know what to do. And this is just our real lives. So we want to get out here and put this information out to help you grow, but at the same time, use those chats.
Yeah,
Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us some of the things that you're going through.
yeah,
Help us. If you hear something that we're struggling with, help us.
yeah,
That's what this is about. It's
yeah,
not about becoming some stars or the next YouTube star or something like that. I can care less about fame. As you see, what fame does, it messes people up. People be walking around here crazy. But we're not concerned about that. We're concerned about helping people.
helping, gaining the tools and the knowledge that we need. Because in order for us to go through this journey, we need each other. We need tools. We need
We need
understanding.
people.
We need people. It's so many times I'm on these chat or groups on Facebook, mommy autism, all these autistic groups. And a lot of us mothers are dealing with the same thing. And some of the questions that are asked are the same questions that I may have, or the same questions that I may have asked. And it's just like, it's so funny how a lot of us are dealing with the same stuff. Like recently, somebody asked what they thought about ABA. And you guys already know my feeling about ABA. I am for ABA if you want it. I feel like everybody should test it for their own family and see if it works for you. I feel like a lot of times we go off of what someone else is. I'm sorry, what? I think I'm in the middle of talking. Well, I'm sorry, but we're talking. So you have to wait.
Yeah, you have to wait.
See, he want his tablet working now, and we in the middle of live talking. Um, so
I'm going to excuse myself for just 1 second.
okay. Um, I feel like a lot of times we don't do ABA because someone else's experience but my experience may not be someone else's experience. I may have a really good experience with ABA than someone else had. Or maybe the person that they had wasn't for their child, and maybe they need to test another, uh, ABA facility or another clinic. What's up, babe? Oh, so I think that we have to always give it a chance, especially if we're dealing with certain things in our lives with our children. Because think about it, what you're doing now ain't working. I can go off from my own child. What we doing now, what now we're trying to implement certain things that I'm learning with certain clients that I have, but she needs her own BCBA. She needs her own behavior plan.
Someone that can see things that we can't see.
Absolutely.
You know.
Now, let me side note that real quick because I'm a little irritated with my insurance. Okay. They approved it. We were gung ho and everything was set up to start this week. And then I get this phone call that states that she was denied on a technical issue. Now I have to meet and the BCBA, which is the behavioral analysis analysis. I'm having a whatever. The person that pretty much implements and writes the plans, and she's gonna be the person that watched uh, the therapist for Evea calls me and tells me that she was denied. She got the denial late Friday. Do you know how frustrating that is as a parent that has been dealing with these behaviors over a year and a half now? We saw some light at the end of this dark, 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 dark tunnel, only to be told that we were then denied on a technical issue. Now we have to go all around the mulberry bush to figure out where this denial is coming from. It ain't coming from one person. I done called two companies, and so far it's not them. So now I have to figure out.
So we gotta go all the way around
I
the
got to
mulberry
go
bush.
all the way around and figure out exactly where this denial is coming from. And it's always from people that do not understand where you are coming from. They don't live your life. They don't understand the strife, the tribulations, the trials that me and my husband are dealing with. But it's so easy for them to just say denied on the technical. You're not telling, and now I'm irritated because they're not giving a specific reason to the ABA company why it was denied. So now they have to put in an appeal, which the person who does the appeals may or may not feel like looking at the appeal and could just swipe it and say, I don't want, like, come on, y'all, we got to do a little bit better than that. That is frustrating for a parent to have to deal with. They were approved and then on a technicality, what does that mean? So now me, my husband, the BCBA, which is the therapist that writes up the plan, and then their eligibility company or whatever team has to figure out what that means. Instead of if they say, like, I know it's not y'all, but I'm just saying, like, this is stuff that we have to deal
This
with.
is stuff that parents that have special needs children deal
Have
with.
to deal with. You know, the child has autism. Approve the therapy. It's not money coming out of, like, it's not as if we're
begging from that person's,
that's not needed.
yeah, from that person, period. Like, we're asking them for the money.
Obviously the child has autism, right? Obviously they need therapy, right? Because they have other therapies. They have speech that you've approved. They have OT that you've approved. So now what? Because this is a new, well, it's not new because ABA has been around for a while, but maybe new therapy that's introduced to this certain
region,
case.
yeah, this region, period, right?
I mean, come on, y'all. Tell me, y'all, if y'all listening, y'all know, if you understand that whole process as far as like insurance, let me know, because I'm frustrated because we were set to start ABA this week. Today, there was going to be overlapping and shadowing and data taking and just all of the stuff that we've been setting up and making appointments. And Tim's been going back and forth with the BCBA, which is I will tell you what a BCBA is, which is kind of sad that I don't have it on the top of my head because I actually want to be one. But all of that was set up. He was doing all the intake online. And all of a sudden, Friday evening, probably before the person left, oh, denied.
But here's the thing: our lives are not the type of lives where anything is given to us. We fight for everything that we get. And we know that we're saved, so we're in the Christian faith, so we believe and we put actions with our beliefs, but there's always opposition some way, somehow. So we deal with that. We pray, and we're looking for a breakthrough to happen, but we're going to do our part, and we're going to keep petitioning and keep moving forward and letting them know this is something that our child needs. We're going to keep knocking on the door, and so that we can get this happening, get this thing started.
Right. So ABA, let me just say this because I try to, when I say these things, I don't want to just be saying them and people are just like, I don't understand what she's saying. So ABA, an ABA therapist provides applied behavior analysis therapy to an individual. And a BCBA is a board certified behavior analysis. So this is the person that they shadow the child or the individual, and then they figure out exactly what the person needs.
They analyze.
Yeah, they analyze what the person needs, and then they write out a plan. And then the RBT, which is a registered behavioral therapist or tech, we're the people that sees it through. They'll overshadow, make sure that the plan is, executed the way it needs to be executed, and then then it's done. So that's how that works. So ABA is just applied behavior analysis. That's the whole field in itself. Okay. So we were set to start. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's basically, helping the children with their day-to-day living, helping them to improve their skills and helping them to be introduced to new skills.
Yeah. Just like, just small things that you don't really think that people need to be taught, or something that may come second nature to anybody. Learning personal space, learning to brush your teeth, learning potty training, learning how to just start up a conversation, learning how to say hi, learning how to say bye. Just learning things that, as you get older, you learn just by, being around other children, or you learn just by watching certain things. These things sometimes have to be introduced to children that have autism because they're not checking for that. They're not worried about that. They, a lot of times, whatever they have on their mind is what they're focused on. Or if they have certain behaviors, apply ABA will help cut back on, if not get rid of, those behaviors. So that is why me and Tim were looking looking forward to ABA, because I know now, being in the field, that ABA was going to be something that was going to be extremely beneficial to Evea. You know what I mean? And so I'm irritated, I'm frustrated,
You're tired.
I'm tired. And it's so easy for these insurance companies or these individuals to just be like, no.
And let it happen to their child. They'll be getting all that they can get.
They'd be getting everything they could get.
Yeah.
And it's not just this not just me, because again, on these different pages, people are getting denied left and right for Social Security, for therapies. I mean,
let me just put it like this. For the people that are probably watching or not watching, if you know people that are working in these areas, send them a link to watch the show, because here's the thing: our children have to go out into society.
Yep.
and we're trying to do the best that we can to get them ready for society.
Yep.
If we don't take care of the behavior aspect of their lives, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people that you're not going to want in society.
Yep.
You're going to have people that are not trained to be in society or trained to deal with society. And just as my daughter, she's making noises in the car and she's hitting the windows and so on and so forth. We're trying to get that under control so that she can live a normal life.
Yeah.
So by you denying them the access
Mm-hmm.
to the things that they need, the insurance that they need, the programs that they need, what's going to happen is that you're going to run into some troubles, and you're not going to know what to do but try to lock these people up and medicate them and try to put them away from society because of some of the things that you should have done, um, beforehand.
Absolutely.
So we take this very seriously. This is our these are our children. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get a phone call or anything about my child because you're going to see me act a fool. But to be honest with you,
And will.
yeah, we will. So it's not going to be just we just going to let it go and so on and so forth. No, we're going to deal with it. But other than that, what I'm trying to just say is that these people are tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is the next generation, and a lot of them they do tend to grow out of certain behaviors, and some of them are doing fantastic things right now. Some of them are smarter than the average person.
Yeah. They're geniuses. A lot of them are. But a lot of times not just we people, they overlook them. That's why one of the reasons why we started this podcast is because the autism community is so overlooked. Now, people are starting to, want to jump on the
The bandwagon,
bandwagon and
yeah.
stuff like that. That's a whole nother thing.
And I would like to say, sorry to cut you off, but this is Autism Awareness Month,
Yes, it is.
and it's almost the chapter's almost closed for it. But I'd like to say,
Well, it ain't never closed for us because we have
yeah,
autism
yeah,
awareness
this is
24/7,
24/7,
365.
yeah. But I would like to say to the people that are dealing with what we deal with, or the people that are, have um, these situations, we throw our hats off to you.
Yep.
And we say, that you're important. We want to
Yes.
let you know that no matter what society makes you feel like,
Yes.
you are important, and you're strong enough to handle what the average person cannot handle.
Yes.
You know, and I just want to just generally just give you your flowers while you're here, because a lot of people they tend to let this overwhelm them, and they feel like their life is just a whole bunch of trash, that nothing works out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee if you put your hand in God's hand, He'll change some things around for you. He'll allow you to learn how to deal with certain things and become an expert in certain areas to where you can pull someone else out of the ditch. So I just want to let you know to hold on. Want to let you know that to be encouraged, and just group up with people, like-minded people, so that you won't feel like you're on your own. We were talking about how we feel uncomfortable um, in certain spaces, or going out and hanging out and so on and so forth with our kids. You know, if we were to go out by ourselves, it's fine. We don't have to deal with a lot of the things. It's extra work that we have to deal with. But we were talking about that. But when we're around people that are like-minded or have to go through some of the things that we go through, even when we pick up our children, we feel comfortable around those people because they're not looking at us funny, because they know,
Right.
you know. So
Agreed. I mean,
my baby looks tired.
I I am tired. We literally, like, we did the promo as he was picking me up from work, and I was like, I do not want to have to do this episode in the car. But if we want, I mean, if we have to, we will.
I think that we
And
should.
so
I
Tim
think
was
we
like,
should
we
do
should
one.
do it so that people can see what it is really like or whatever. And I'm still extremely cautious with how we allow our children to be seen. So I'm still kind of like, I don't want to kind of put her out there like that because I'm look,
But see, here's the thing: it's not.
I'm very private
I
and
understand.
and open all at the same time, if that makes sense. Because my children are very, they're
They're special.
they're
They're
special to
special
me,
to
and
us.
not just special, but You know what I
We
mean?
protect. We protect them.
I protect my kids. He protects our kids as much as possible. And so, yes, there is a part of me that wants you all to see that we're not making what we say up. And if anybody has ever been around us, they know that we're not making it up because it's not pretty.
But it's a part of you that wants to protect her too.
Yes.
But I understand that, and I understand that whole aspect. But when you see us sit down, a lot of times you just see the kids run through. You see them do a little bit, but you don't know what a whole life is like.
Mhm.
And that's why I was proposing that to her, because sometimes you need to see some of the bruises and some of the hurt and some of the things that we deal with, some of the difficulties, so you would know that it's no joke,
Yeah.
so that you could just look at us and be like, wow, you're going through a lot, but I do see that you're being held up.
Yeah.
you know I could not deal with what we deal with if I did not have God holding my hand or
Yeah.
holding my mind, because it,
That's
it
true.
is a lot. There's a lot of people that lose their mind. There's a lot of relationships that break up
Yeah.
because of having special needs children and the difficulty that comes with it, the amount of time that it takes.
Yeah.
A lot of people have dreams, and a lot of times your dreams are on hold because you have to put more into your child to make sure that they develop, your children, make sure that they develop and that they're okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's why some people end up living towards their children, because they give up a lot. They live through their children because they've given up a lot, and there's a lot of things that they can't do, so they try to live through their child. We're not trying to do that by any means. We're just trying to make sure that they have a great life while they're here.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, perfectly said. One of the things that I noticed one day when he was taking me to work, I don't know why I keep saying school because I need to get back in school to become the BCBA. But
Let me give a quick disclaimer real quickly.
go ahead.
We are tired. She had to go to work. I had to take on the kids today and do some things on odd stuff. But here's the thing. Sometimes one of our child Grace, she doesn't like to sleep at night. She'll sleep in the
Oh yeah,
daytime,
I forgot.
but she was up all night.
I
She
com-
went to sleep early, and what happened is that 2 hours later she got up and didn't go back to sleep until she got up at about maybe 8, 9, and then
she got up at 11.
at 11, and then she went back to sleep at 4 a.m. She's waking up the rest of the house, running through the house,
I completely forgot about that.
and that's why we are so tired. She's
I
more tired.
completely forgot about
That's
that.
how our life is.
You were
So
so right. See, that's how much I blocked it. He's so right.
you can't block
And
that
it
out.
wasn't like, so she didn't even fall asleep like super early. Okay, so their bedtime is 8:30. She fell asleep at like 7:50. So we were like, oh, she's good. She's out for the count. Maybe she showed us she was not out for the count. She woke up at like 11, 11:30 and was up till 4, 4:30. And we were like, she's still got to go to school because Tim has things that he has to do to take care of, trying to get our other vehicle on the
Yeah, I have
road.
to get that vehicle on the road. That's how I work.
That's
So
how, yeah, that's how he works. And again, like we said, our life ain't normal. Like, so he can't get a regular 9 to 5 or whatever. He's, so we still trying to figure out how to get that dynamic together. And so it was like he still had to go to work, and I completely forgot she had us up till 4 o'clock, 4:30 this morning. And I started my new schedule today. So, and I started with more clients, brand new clients that have more energy. That's why I was so frazzled at work today. I couldn't get myself together. That's what it was.
did she have one of the little children jump on her neck today?
I had somebody jump on me, which is okay. Like, he didn't do it out of anger. He did it out of, playing, but that aggravated me up again. And
So I have to cultivate my land. So I have to go and give her a massage on her neck tonight. Put some ice on there.
it's already so, because
So
he been massaging it. But it has to be worked out. And y'all pray our strength, honey, because I forgot. Listen, I was gonna say another thing, but I think I'm gonna just wait and leave that over until the next episode. What I was gonna say in quick the other day, Me and Tim were he was taking me to work after we had dropped the kids off to school. And I was sitting there and didn't even realize that me and my husband, well, I will speak for myself and then he can say yay or nay, that we are kind of always in a constant state of sadness.
Mm.
And I did not realize I was sad. And it was not even, it was early in the morning. I mean, like 8. Yeah, it had to be like 8 o'clock. He was taking me to work. Maybe 9, whatever. It was still the break of AM.
Mm.
And I was sitting there and I was like, Lord, why am I feeling this way? Nothing bad had happened. But it hit me that we are constantly in a state of sadness, regardless of the fact if I'm smiling, if I'm laughing. I know how to put on a great face, okay? Um, this has definitely showed me that I wear many a face. Um, but that made me sad because life is not to be in a constant state of sadness. Yes, you will have sad moments and you will have sad days. But I had to like pray and say, okay, Lord, since you showed this to me, then you're going to have to show me how not to be in a constant state of sadness. And that's something that I'm going to have to work on. And that's something I talked to my therapist about. And that's something that we are going to figure out where that is coming from. And she brought up many a good reasoning. And I was like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And it could be all of what she said. But nonetheless, that's something that, we have to
It's
work on.
because that, like I was saying and stating earlier, that everything we get, we have to fight for, and it's a sad situation, to see your friends or other people that have children that are just getting here, and we're happy for them, happy that they're normal, well, not normal, atypical, and that everything is flowing.
Neurotypical.
I'm sorry, neurotypical, but everything's flowing for them. But it's like, Lord, what about us? Why do we feel left out? Why is our child not speaking properly, and why is our child still not speaking, and so on and so forth? So that's something that of course you're going to be sad about, because you're looking to the moments for them asking you certain things or calling you by your name, and just certain things that you're looking for. So there's a lot of sadness that's there. We don't, we fight to spend time together and fight to conversate together. Things don't just always flow, and we have to make things happen a lot of times. So I see why the sadness is, because we can't just get up and go and just enjoy ourselves. We have a lot to think about before we do it. We have to strategically plan. We have to do a lot of things, and there's a lot of weights that's on us. So that's why we're sad, and we're looking for joy. We're looking for peace and happiness. And we find it when we worship the Lord. But in real life, though, outside of that, you have to still deal with everyday living, and our everyday living on the spectrum. We face different
Obstacles.
obstacles. So I mean, that's what it is. So we have to look at what's going right instead of what's going wrong.
Yeah.
I believe, because we look at the negative and we don't really fish for the positive, or think
Right.
about that they're healthy, or think about that at least it could be worse than what it is.
Right.
So I mean, can you name some of the things, some of the things? I mean, we were going to talk about noise for some reason, noise cancellation headphones, but when we get on here, we talk about our lives.
Yeah.
It
I mean, we
always
still
spills
talk about the noise
it spills
cancellation
it spills over, because it's our therapy. It's therapy for us.
Yeah. So I get 2 therapies.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about some things that because someone else is going through this too. There's a reason why you brought that up. So what are some things that could be making us sad?
Well, one of the things, and we'll probably have to pick this up on next session because it's almost 8 o'clock. I ain't had not a nary lunch or dinner. Um,
Oh, we got to eat.
and I got to eat. And I love y'all. Don't get me wrong, but I like my food too.
So we're gonna wrap it up in a couple minutes.
But one of the things that my therapist said to me, and she has said to me before, But it makes so much sense, and even more now because I've noticed, like I said, we're in a constant state of sadness. That we have to literally mourn what we thought parenting was going to be like for us. And I don't think we've actually mourned that. Not in a bad sense of mourning our children, but you have to mourn the fact that when you get pregnant and you're excited, you prepare for all of what we think parenting is going to be. Especially for me, when I knew that, first of all, I've always wanted a boy first. So when the Lord blessed us with our son first, I was like so excited. And when we were, you know, given the diagnosis of autism, it was like a big blow in the face, a knock in the face or whatever you want to call it, a knock in the gut. And then so you pick up pieces that you have to pick up, and then you move on. And then, we get pregnant again and we get the diagnosis again. And so you pick up where you left off. You never really take a moment
To heal.
and mourn that situation and what you thought. And so I think that's just what it is. Like, we've never really, yes, we've been sad, and yes, we've been, had, moments of reflection or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm currently hurting. And so I'm gonna shut it down in a second. But we've not really had the opportunity to kind of talk to, someone and say, this is what I thought it was gonna be like, and then I was hit with this, a complete opposite of what I thought it was gonna be. So that's one of the reasons. And I love y'all, but I'm about to shut it down because I got to take some medicine for this neck.
Okay, so we'll we'll pick it back up, or we'll have a maybe another topic, or if we want to continue this, we will. Our lives are going to always spill over into what we're talking about because that's our everyday thing. So yeah, so you can check us out on Spotify. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer. There's a number of different platforms that we're on. So please just continue to support, and we appreciate you. And thank you for joining us with another episode of Living with the Spectrum. You have a blessed day.
Yes, real quick. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know. You can email him. You can write them down in the comments. We check these things, but like, share, and all of that in between. We love you guys. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.